This video is for the Nominations and Elections Committee and the Executive Director. It is a quick demonstration of how to tabulate how to count votes using Excel and the single transferable vote system that we adopted sometime before I came on as Nomination and Elections Committee Chair. So what I have here is a sample output. This output has actually been simplified a bit because I have deleted all the extraneous information that SurveyMonkey provides, including especially the information that can identify the names of voters, right? We want to strip that information off right away so that we're not tempted to look at it. So what we have are ballots. The ballot numbers are across the left. The candidate names are across the top. And then each column gives in the body you have the rank that what that ballot gave to that candidate. So we're going to need to count these ballots, and there's really only a few tricky things you need to know if you don't have experience with Excel. The process can take a long time if you've got a lot of ballots and a lot of candidates, but it's not actually complicated. So if you've done your gradebook in Excel in the past, you may have set up a counter before, for instance, to count the number of students who received an A on the test. The counters we're going to set up now work exactly the same way. You're going to go to a cell right below the candidate, right below that column, and we're going to use the function called COUNTIF. We write equals COUNTIF in that cell, right? And what that's going to do is it's going to count a cell if it meets a criterion. So we hit parentheses, we hit left parenthesis. We then highlight the range of cells that we want to count in, right? So that is the votes for Socrates. And then we hit comma. We want to count the number of times Socrates was ranked number 1. So we say quotation mark equals 1, quotation mark, close parentheses. As you can see, Socrates received 1 ballot where he was ranked number 1. We can cut and paste this over, and it will automatically update to the new column, right? So here, J.J. Thompson received 4 number 1 votes, and as you can see, the range that it's supposed to count automatically updated as we cut and pasted. Now, this is something you might have done in your gradebook to, like I said before, count the number of A's, for instance, that were on a test. All right. As you can see, we have 2 people tied for first, J.J. Thompson and Hannah Arendt. However, neither of them received a majority of the votes. We've got 11 ballots here. That means that we're going to need to, a candidate will need to receive 6 votes before they have a majority. Because no candidate has a majority, we need to go to a runoff round. Okay, so I'm going to mark sheet 1 here as round 1. That way we have a separate sheet for each round of voting. We're going to copy this for the next round. Create a copy, move to end. Move to end. All right, and I'm going to rename this round 2. For round 2, we eliminate the candidate who received the lowest number of votes. In this case, that candidate is Mencius, so we're just going to mark mark that column by highlighting it. He has now been eliminated. He is not going to win this position. Unfortunately, he had no votes to redistribute. He was ranked number 1 no times at all. So we need to go to the next round of voting. move or copy, create copy, move to end. We'll call this one round 3. Now we have 3 candidates tied for last: Socrates, Hume, and Siddhartha Gautama. We need to use a random process to decide which one to eliminate. Now, most of the time, it actually won't wind up making a difference because the other 2 candidates will be eliminated quickly as well. However, there are some instances where it will make a difference. So what I do to get a random process is I actually just go to this website here, random.org. We'll go back to the main page. Random.org lets you generate random integers. It is generally used for cryptography. However, you can use it to just generate small numbers. Here I'm saying generate a number between 1 and 3. And I just do it because I'm already at the computer and it's easier to find random.org than a coin. So we get numbers, and it says 3. So we're going to eliminate the 3rd candidate. We go here. That would be the thus come one, Siddhartha Gautama. So we highlight that column to eliminate. Okay. We're going to want to redistribute his ballot, and we can see, because we only have 11 ballots, we can see right away that this is the ballot ending in 543. However, when you've got 50, 100 ballots, it's going to be hard to find the ballot that you want. So what you need to do is highlight that entire area, right, with the ballot numbers and the rankings. You go to Sort and Filter. Now, if you're using a different version of Excel, the function might be in a different spot. Go to Custom Sort, Sort By, and here we go to Siddhartha, smallest to largest. And now all of Siddhartha's number 1 votes are on the top. As we can see, ballot number, the ballot ending in 543 is right up here. And so we can redistribute his votes. Okay. Ballot 543 had as its second choice Mencius. Mencius has already been eliminated from the voting. So we need to actually go down to this candidate's 3rd choice, who happens to be Hannah Arendt. So we delete. We can also delete 2. And then we change Hannah Arendt to number 1. Okay? If this candidate had more votes to redistribute, they would all be at the top when we did the sort, right? In this case, we only had 1 to worry about, so it wasn't that big a deal. So in round 3 now, Hannah Arendt is 1 vote shy of achieving a majority. We have to repeat the process. So move or copy. Round 4. Again, 2 votes tied for last. Hume and Socrates. I don't have a coin on me. I'm going to random.org. I'm going to select 2. Get numbers, and the loser is Socrates, ballot or candidate number 1. So we go back here. Again, I can visually here find his number 1 ballot, but I might not always be able to do that. So let's sort so that all his number 1 ballots are at the top. Highlight this area, go to Sort Filter, Custom Sort. Now you want to sort on the column Socrates, smallest to largest, and there he is. We eliminate Socrates, so this delete that one, move that one over, and now Socrates has been eliminated from the game. Boop. And we repeat. Round 4. Actually, you can actually see quickly how this is going to go, because you can see that Hume's vote is going to transfer over to Thompson. However, we need a complete record of every round of voting. So let's go ahead and make a copy. This is round 5 now. Rename round 5. We eliminate Hume. We also want to go ahead and sort on Hume, just to reinforce that this is how we do things. Custom sort Hume. Hume is there. Hume's number 1 vote gets redistributed to Thompson, right? So you delete the number 1 there, write number 1 there. Thompson now has 6 votes. J.J. Thompson is the winner. The process can be time-consuming if you've got a lot of ballots and a lot of candidates. When I did a test run for this election on the first 2 positions, it took an hour for the first one and 45 minutes for the second. Although the process is long, it is not really that complicated. The only time you need to write a formula is when you set up your counters, right? That's using this COUNTIF formula, which is something you might have already done for grade books. And then you also need to be able to sort by column. That's also something you might have done for grade books, for instance, if you wanted to sort out all the students who got an A on the test. And that's it. We repeat this process 5 times, once for each position. We should have a separate Excel spreadsheet for each position, and then within the election for that position, 1 sheet for each round. That way, we can have a set of spreadsheets that should match exactly for both of the official vote counters. Okay, that's it. I hope that demystifies some of this process.